Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the show. I'm your host, Annie Zelmaya, lover of pop culture, entertainment, and 100% human creativity. This is Creative Mode. Today, I want to talk about zines and why you should make a zine. Not a scene. Don't make a scene. You can't make a scene, but you should make a zine. Zines are this really cool kind of punk rock art form. It's basically a self-published sketchbook, if you will. Although you don't have to be a visual artist. You can use stickers. You can make it like a scrapbook. You could use it for poetry. Really, anything that you want. There are no rules, and that is the best part about zines. And I came across zines on YouTube, actually. I saw a video about why you should make zines, and I was like, oh, that looks like fun. What is that? So then I went down the rabbit hole, and there's one creator in particular that I really like, and her name is Bratty X Bree or Bratty by Bree. I never really know if the X stands for something or if it's just an X, but I will link her channel so you can check out her stuff. She has a lot of really cool tips and tricks, tutorials, and just videos about her craft and how she got into zines, the history of zines, what makes them so cool. Totally not gatekeepy at all. And I think that's something that's really special about zines is they seem to be pretty open to everybody and anybody can do them. The community's really cool and welcoming. And I am very much a newbie, so this is not really a how-to guide or a deep dive into zines, but I wanted to make you aware of zines because I think they're really cool and I'm really enjoying making them, and I think there's a lot to get into and might be a really cool way to meet other creative minds. A really easy entry point is making mini zines. All you need is a single sheet of paper, printer paper. I used construction paper because that's what I had on hand. And you fold it into 8 sections, 8 little squares, and then you cut out the very middle seam. And then there's a really neat way of folding it so that you don't even have to bind it, and it makes this little flip book, this little mini book with 8 pages on it. So I made a couple of those and I gave one to my husband. I gave one to my best friend. I already have some ideas for some new ones. The best part about these, not only does it give you a place to use all those stickers that you never know where to put, but you can just be as creative as you want. There's there doesn't really have to be a plot or a theme. There can be. You can get really, really neat with it. But for me, it was kind of just a place to get artsy and craftsy and get hands-on and make something really cool and special and personalized to share with the people around me. And it also kind of unlocked a memory. I think my mom used to make zines when I was really little because I remember going through old photos, an old photo box, and I would find these booklets that she would make with cutouts from photos and construction paper, and she would bind it sometimes with decorative tape or even with yarn or thread, and she would make cool little pop outs and flip books, and it was really neat. And I don't know if she called it a zine, and to be honest, I don't know when the word zine was invented, but that's kind of what she was doing and making these really neat little memory books, and I believe I still have them, so I'll have to see if I can find those. So how cool. Way to go, Mom. Very punk rock of you back in the day. And zine is spelled Z-I-N-E, like the end of the word magazine. But these are not magazines. Magazines are very capitalistic, very consumer driven. They're created to sell for profit usually, and zines are not. They're totally indie. They are original, and a lot of people do sell them, but they're not really selling them to make a profit. They're just kind of selling them maybe to cover the costs of making them. And I believe there's also groups of people who trade zines, maybe over the mail. You can make copies of them and people can print out their own version of it. You can share digital copies. You can make photocopies and sell those or give those away. It's just super, super cool and something that I'm really looking forward to learning more about and getting a lot more hands-on with in 2026. I think it'll be a really cool new hobby to explore. So check it out. I'm going to link a couple of videos that I found really cool and helpful. And even if you don't think you're interested in doing something hands-on like this, you should at least look into it because it's super fun and it's super neat to see what people make and how original they are. And even just going on Etsy, you can browse around and see some that are for sale for like a couple of dollars and then maybe some postage. And maybe you can order some of those and share those with people, or just keep them for when you need a little bit of creative inspiration. They're really, really cool. So definitely make a zine. I think the first one I made took me maybe an hour. And I used some cutouts, some washi tape, mostly stickers, because I love stickers, and it takes off the pressure of having to draw something. I do like to draw. I just am out of practice. But yeah, zines, y'all. Very punk. Very cool. Last week, I mentioned that I was going to try maybe The Artist's Way again for the second time around. I originally tried it in 2019 and just never finished it. I put the book down and didn't pick it back up because it started to feel like work, and I didn't want more work to do. Now it's 2026. I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm more disciplined, and I have a little bit more time now. So I did pick it back up, and I'm on chapter 1, started doing my morning pages. I'll be honest, I got a small 5x7 notebook for my morning pages because I just knew that doing longhand 8.5x11 notebook pages was going to be a roadblock for me. So I made this modification for myself, and the book just says 3 full pages. It does not specify how long they have to be, okay? It doesn't specify if it has to be wide ruled or college ruled or whatever. So where there are no rules, I make my own rules, okay? Whatever I gotta do to keep myself consistent and to get through this. And yeah, they are sometimes a slog in the beginning, those morning pages, but I always get something out of it. It just makes me go deeper into my mind, and I start finding answers to questions that I didn't even know I was asking. But a couple of quotes that I found in chapter 1 that really struck with me. In chapter 1, it talks about shadow artists and artists. And a shadow artist is the side of yourself that kind of mimics art or admires art but doesn't create. It's creatively blocked or stifled, or it's just been repressed for so long that it kind of craves creative fulfillment through other things. So, for example, I love to write, so I got a degree in PR because PR involved a lot of writing, and I thought, oh, that's what I should do. I'm sure I would love that. And let me just say, PR is a lot of writing. And if you are good at writing, you will be good at PR, but you may not necessarily enjoy it. You're writing what other people want you to write. So I don't do that full time right now. And I'm working on nurturing my inner artist, my real artist, and not my shadow artist. So anyway, here's a quote from chapter 1. Artists love other artists. Shadow artists are gravitating to their rightful tribe, but cannot yet claim their birthright. Very often, audacity, not talent, makes one person an artist and another a shadow artist, hiding in the shadows, afraid to step out and expose the dream to the light, fearful that it will disintegrate to the touch. All you need is audacity. And I wrote the word audacity in the margins there. So audacity is what you need. You don't need talent. You don't need talent to be creative. You just need audacity. But another line that really stuck out to me, this is, I think, a key statement that every burgeoning creative needs. Okay, and this is something that people that grew up having their creative desires affirmed by their parents or their teachers, the people around them, and weren't told that they should focus on other more logical tasks and interests, probably heard some version of this, but you can tell it to yourself now. I'm going to tell it to you now. Try it and see what happens. That's the quote. Try it and see what happens. So whatever it is you want to do, just try it and see what happens. You don't have to be good. It doesn't have to be good. Just try it and see what happens. You'll discover something along the way. So number 1, you need audacity, not talent. Number 2, just try it and see what happens. Okay, that's kind of what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing every single time I sit down to do something creative, and that's kind of what I'm doing with this podcast. Try it and see what happens. And then finally, for a pop culture minute, I heard on the radio today, yes, my car radio, I still use a car radio, AM, FM radio, and I heard that it's rumored that Harry Styles is going to be releasing a new album this year, so I'm super excited for that. And also, interestingly, they compared him to a modern David Bowie, which I had never really put that together in my mind, but I can totally see it. I am a fan of Bowie. I really got into Bowie after I watched The Labyrinth. I absolutely love that movie. It's one of my favorites. So I really got into Bowie's music. And then, of course, the song changes from Shrek. Was it Shrek 2? I think it was the second Shrek movie. Yeah, changes. I always loved that song and didn't really know who it was back then. But yeah, so big Bowie fan. I haven't always been a huge Harry Styles fan, but I did really love the music that he came out with around 2020, 2021, 2022, that era. Was it Harry's House era? That's when I started really getting into his music, and I really like his pop funky kind of sound. So anyway, there is a website that Harry Styles' team has created, and it's webelongtogether.co. And of course that makes me think of the Mariah Carey song. Is he going to be releasing a cover of We Belong Together by Mariah Carey? I hope so. But if you go to this website, it's just a picture of a crowd of people at a concert. And some of them are holding up their cell phones like lighters. But then if you click on the screen, it opens up a new page with a phone number. And I haven't called that phone number, so let's call it together. Okay, so if you go to webelongtogether.co and then click on the screen, it opens up a new page. And it says HSHQ, which I'm assuming is Harry Styles' headquarters. And it has a mobile number on there. So let's call that number. It hung up on me. Let's try it again. I don't know. It's instantly hanging up on me. I'll have to try it again later. Maybe it's overloaded. Some kind of Easter egg there. So I'm excited to see what new music we get this year. The other day, We Found Love by Calvin Harris and Rihanna was on the radio. And I love every single time that Calvin Harris and Rihanna have created something together. And I just really, really hope that we haven't seen the last of that duo, that collab. I would love for them to release something together. There's no rumor. I'm just delusional. I love pop music. I love good music, period. I've also been waiting on Lana Del Rey to release her latest album. I believe it's been on hold for like 2 years now. I don't know. I just got into her music a couple years ago, so I think this is kind of the norm for her. Like, she says she's going to release an album, and then everyone just kind of waits until it actually happens. But what are you looking forward to this year? I want to know. What are you listening to? What are you watching? And what do you have on your watch list or your reading list or any of your lists this year? It's still the New Year's season. We still have a lot to look forward to, so let me know what's going on in your head, and try making a zine, or at least watch a video. Go check out a zine and tell me what you think. All right, find me on Instagram at AnnieZomaya. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will catch you again next week.